The Parc Shouf is a social arts center which is a public facility with the character of social integration. The project promotes access to information and individual development. The project is located between three main towns in the Shouf district, which are relatively important on educational, historical, and economical aspects. The chosen lot is situated on the main road facing the Martyrs Node, which is a local landmark that gives the site an added value. The site also includes an existing massing that is a concrete abandoned building, which leads us to the first problematic. That is, despite the strategic location of the potential of having a well-studied project, we have an unused construction. On the other hand, the second problematic concerns the social aspect. People in Shuf are very attached to their culture and are interested in arts, but unfortunately there's a lack of spaces where people can practice and express themselves. Moreover, there's also a lack of public gathering spaces. Based on these two problematics, my proposal is to create a forum that combines social and cultural affairs with different types of spaces for people to engage themselves and express themselves. Basically, the project hosts locals and visitors, and most importantly, youth groups and artists, where people and individuals can be protagonists of spaces through the social equipment implanted. Moving to the conceptual. Based on I mentioned and on the data I have, I figured that there's a stereotype about people in Shuf. There are two major groups of people. Some have the conservative attitude and follow traditions and create imitation for younger generations. And on the other hand, we have the new generation with the new way of thinking. For that, in my design, I wanted to show the contrast between these two aspects and to create the balance between them. Adding to that, this integration of nature and rehabilitation the land where the existing building is. Before going into my design strategy, I studied the program and the areas needed based on the precedents. Based on the site analysis I did, I moved to the design strategy where I wanted to show my concept and the design. I followed three main elements showing the limitation created by the conservative community and creating a new volume that breaks this modularity and integration of nature. Since the existing building is following a non-specific architecture, it's limiting my design thinking, so I tried to personalize the idea of limitation through the existing by removing all the concrete materials and leaving only the structure. Moving to the next step, which is creating a new volume based on the conceptual approach, I wanted to create a space that shows the spirit of age, so I opened the ground floor for public functions and nature and implemented a huge piazza where people can express themselves through it. I'd be showing the last two elements, new volume and nature integration. Starting with the original grid, I distributed my functions and deteriorate the grid from the corner to show a breakthrough. In the ground floor, I have an administration, the workshop, rest cafes, and main entrances of both public facilities, art gallery, and auditorium, so people can easily access them. Although in the first floor, all the intimate areas such as education facility and the rest of the art gallery, as well as a lookout garden for the school. The circulation in my project is very easy. From floor to another, two cores from the parking. First core leading to the main administration. The second core leads to the education facility. There's an additional core located in the art gallery, which serves as the sortie or exit from the gallery, or for people to easily transport their stuff to the gallery. The administration is on the ground floor, which allows easy circulation, and the bridge connects the school to both arts and auditorium, art gallery and auditorium. There are some 3Ds of the project showing and highlighting the gardens and the piazza experience and engagement. Two structural system. First, I have the retained steel that I used from the existing building, the I-column and the I-beams, and the truss system that I use for the art gallery and the auditorium. With the intention of being surrounded by the beautiful nature of Shuf, I used for the envelope of the building precast concrete. As for the shading device, precast concrete louvers that generate a semi-outside space in the upper floor, which also helps avoiding direct sunlight as well as acting as a natural ventilation system for the corridor. This device will shade the corridor by letting in the breeze, knowing that all the classrooms are connected to this semi-open space. Also, I would like to mention that I opened the first floor and offsetted the slabs by 1 meter to 0.8 centimeters, so I can have an external planting that creates a microclimate and aesthetical pleasing for the visitor. In this slide, I talked about the material palette, the studios and art space palette, and the technology palette, as well as where are they integrated. In the first floor, I tried to integrate more of a natural material, which is a stone that also reminds us of the Shouf nature and typology. And then going up to the floors, to the upper floor, the gallery, and the first floor, I use precast concrete. In the next In the last part of my project, I want to talk about the extension that I did for the project, which is a park, and that's where the dynamism happens in the landscape, and it's a public facility for people to enjoy their time, and it's public for everyone. I use some sustainable materials also and sustainable elements that improves the energy and lower the CO2 emission. Finally, I mentioned the SDGs achieved by this project and the passive design approach of the Parc d'Exposition du Shouf. Thank you.